I was going to use this image to demonstrate the AI mask select objects. Now I did use that option and it allowed me to subdue all of those branches which are catching the light. Now using the select object AI mask worked okay for me, but what I've done here is to turn all the masks off so we can go through them in a few moments and take a look at what I did. However, when I sat down to get ready to record the video, I also tried another way, and that has a lot of success too, and that is where we select a certain tonal range. Now that sort of made me stop and take stock. This sort of encompasses the very nature of masks and why we have so many different ways to apply them. We can't say very often that this way is right and that way is wrong. There's a degree of that sometimes, but what mask we use or what combination of masks we use is also a creative choice of the author. It's only with a little experience of using different masks that we're going to settle on what works for us most of the time. Now, because my intention was to create a video using those select object masks, let's touch on them here. Here we have a pretty basic scene. Let me just zoom in a little bit to the two ladies walking along the beach. I'd like to darken them down. I'd like to give them a bit of a warmer tone, maybe a bit more of a suntan. So if I go to my masks, you can see that there's already a mask been created on the sand at the bottom left. We can't see that very well because it's off screen, but what I'm going to do here is go to my masks and select the AI select objects. Now this one uses a brush, so we've got the same shortcut keys as ever, using the square bracket keys to the right of the letter P. But the good thing about this tool is we don't have to be careful. We sort of give the software a guide. I think the brush is going to be okay. So I'm telling the software, look, this is what I want you to select. And you can see I've not been very careful at all, but the AI has done most of the work for me. It seems to have missed a little bit there, so I'll just go over that again and see if I can pick it up. Seems to be a bit reluctant, and as you can see it's having a little bit of difficulty there. So we may have to add that in with a brush. So we could go to add, choose the brush. Let's drop the brush size down because it remembers what we last had with the brush, so we could fill that in. But when I go back now for the next lady, let's create a different mask for that. Let me try that select objects once again, because when I tried this first off, it selected both ladies perfectly, just by me doing something like that. And as you can see, it's done a pretty good job there. So we would probably hit Control 0 to look at the image in its entirety. Let me turn off that overlay because it's a bit distracting in such a small subject. So we're just going to work on the lady on the right, and let's just, for the sake of this demo, just put a bit of warmth into her skin, maybe a tiny little less exposure, just to make her stand out nicely. Now let's go back to the other lady. I can select that mask and I can do exactly the same. Let's turn it off. A little bit of warmth so she matches her friend, and maybe a little exposure down. Now that select object brush is capable of selecting some quite fine detail at times. Now coming back to the bird image, you can see by the light panel up at the top here that the editing has been done. I've also done quite a crop here. Incidentally, this image was shot with 2000 ISO, which we can see up at the histogram. But I've cropped in quite tight to try to get rid of a lot of the background, and I suppose I could have even lost that little curved part there. Every time I come back to a picture, I can always see a little change, but nevertheless, that's what I chose. So I've done the editing with the light. I've done the editing with the colour. I didn't use any of the effects, but I have applied the noise reduction. All I haven't got applied here is the masks that I applied to finish the image off. So let me open them up. When they appear, you'll see I've got them all turned off. So let's go through them one at a time and you can see exactly what I've done. So let me turn the bottom mask back on. And as I mouse over it, you can see the area that was affected. And what I used to do this was the select object. And all I did was to paint down those branches and twigs, and AI did the rest. The next one, you can see I've labelled these branches top. And again, as I mouse over, you can see the area that I've darkened down. Left gradient, well, we do this a lot on quite a number of our images. In fact, I visited this twice. I must have forgotten that I've applied one, and I went and applied another one a bit later on. I obviously felt that it needed to be even darker there. Bottom right corner, let's turn that one on and take a look. That's pretty normal, I think. We do a lot of that in all sorts of images we create. The right gradient, very similar. And then various twigs that I felt needed some extra work. Now here I think I just used my brush to actually darken down all of those areas. But when we look at the before and after, let's take a look at the after first, we can see it does make a significant difference. No rights and wrongs here. You use the mask that works for you. Now, coming back to my bird picture, what I'm going to do here is to click on one of these little more option icons, and I'm going to delete all of those masks. So let's take a look into the option here called range. Both of these work very similar, but I want the luminance range here. And what I'm invited to do is click on the sort of tonal range that I want to affect. Now, if I go up to these light areas here and click, you'll see the effect of that. Now, over on the right hand side, I do have some opportunity to temper what the AI software has selected. We've got some sliders here, and as we move them, we can quite clearly see the effect they're having on the image. And none of them are having a great effect for me. I'm trying to see if I can find a way to get that better, but I really can't. It's picked up all of the branches pretty well, but I don't want the bird. Well, let's go to subtract from the mask and say, why not subtract the subject? There we have it. It's kept the bird's feet there, but the feet are quite bright also. So I'm quite happy for those feet to be masked. So all we've got to do now is use the controls in the light section of the mask on the right hand side to make the changes in the masked area that we think are appropriate. Now I'm going to end this video here because we're coming up on 9 minutes and I think that's enough. I'm also trespassing on another subject on masks that I had planned for the near future. By the way, if you wonder why I never just selected the background here and darkened the whole thing, well, that does work, but it makes the shadow areas far too dark for me, and I lose the exposure balance that I'm looking for. Till next time.